Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, whenever you're choosing to listen to us at The Inn. I'm Matt, here as always with Mike and Sebastian. It's been a while, boys, since we've switched over from our normal live stream that we were doing in the winter since we're all busy.
Who are
How's
you
it been?
again?
It's been a couple of
Yeah.
weeks since we've really had a chat.
Who are
I
you
am
again?
Mike. Nice to meet you guys. Haven't seen you guys in a long time.
What up, fam? Hello,
What's
my
up?
friends.
What's
How
up,
are
guys?
you guys? It's been a while. It's been like over 2 weeks since I've
Yeah,
seen
a little bit.
your ugly faces.
I shaved yesterday. Come on.
I shaved 2 days ago, actually. Yeah.
There you go.
Things have been good. I mean, we're obviously busy because it's summer. And
Yes.
we got, you guys have kids.
Kids in their bullshit. Yeah, kids
Matt
in
has
their
like
bullshit.
14 children that all graduated in the last week or something like that.
Maybe 15. We don't know.
Yeah,
We're not
there's,
sure.
there's,
At this
there's
point,
a
we don't know
pending
how many
DNA
there are.
test out there at this
Yeah.
point.
Stay tuned for Maury Povich. Are you his father? Episode with Matt Hardy.
Maybe I'll get an envelope and we'll do that just for fun.
This is an inside joke that probably none of the listeners actually know what we're talking about, but
No,
we'll just leave it there.
and
Probably all the listeners know because they're the only ones who listen.
Oh, sure.
yeah, because long story short, I may be a slut, and there was some question as to the physical appearance of my daughter's prom date that had people going, bro, not the case. Not the case at all. I can promise you that. We will leave the names
I
out
don't
of this.
actually
Suffice
know
to
if
say, my daughter's daddy issues were on full display for everybody to see, and then the story got worse. So, but we'll leave everybody hanging on that. There's probably a dozen people that will be listening to this that will laugh, and at some point, my mother will now be phoning me. But
We love you. We love you, Mom. That's okay.
Pastor Mom.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anywho, so I've been busy. I had our second oldest child graduate, so now I've released another one into the wild. She did great. She looked really great at prom. She, did the stage walk. She did the whole deal. There was some tears involved. Unfortunately, my mom couldn't come down. She was kind of mad for that. She got stuck at a work conference in Calgary. She could not get out of, but we FaceTimed her. She saw the stage walk, and when I turned the phone around and my daughter could see who was on the phone, both of them started crying. It was pretty rad.
Yeah.
And in between the prom and the grad, I took a scary little course called Chlorep 2, meaning I can clean up chlorine leaks and several other leaks, and may get called to go to train wrecks at some point. So there's my life in a nutshell.
For those of you that don't know, Matt's been heavily influenced by Breaking Bad, so he's trying to become a chemist now for obvious reasons.
That's right. just make sure you leave the cinnamon out of it because it's not cool, man. Cinnamon is just a waste.
No, it's not. But that was the we were talking earlier about the lad you had just shaved. Last time I shaved was for that class because there was, you have to fit a respirator mask over top of you at some point was the thought. We didn't actually get to that portion, and you can't do that with a beard. I looked quite baby face for a couple of weeks there because it doesn't grow in at all. What you're looking at now is almost 2 weeks worth of growth.
Did I get the spice reference wrong? I think it was cayenne, wasn't it? It wasn't cinnamon.
Cayenne. I think it was cayenne. Yes.
It was cayenne.
Yeah.
As soon as I said it, I'm like, fuck, that's wrong.
Here's a question for you guys. How often do you guys shave?
Once a week.
I'm a twice a week kind of guy.
Yeah.
I probably go, about every 7 days, I would say. I shaved like it all off and then I'll let it grow to the point where it gets itchy and then I shave it again.
Yeah. Like I shaved on last Sunday and I had a full beard by yesterday. I was like, this is stupid.
Oh yeah, you grow fast. Mine doesn't grow fast and it doesn't grow in that well. But again, because of work, I do have to keep it short. I should be doing a full shave probably twice or 3 times a week. But honestly, I'm lazy and my mask seals just fine as long as I don't let it go for more than 3 to 5 work days. I hope nobody from workers' safety is
because they'll bust you big time if you probably have any hair in your face, right?
Not at work, but we will have if we do an off-site visit or a call. We get called out on something, or we have a regulator like WorkSafe come in, or the mask fitting people. If we haven't shaved, they just hand you a 99-cent bic and send you off to the bathroom.
Beauty. Soap it up and let's go.
Yeah, well,
that hurts.
Then at that point, then you're just using the industrial hand soap in the
Oh
plant bathroom, and that don't fly for nobody.
Well,
So
that's some
I've
good
been pretty good. I
exfoliation for your face.
haven't been busted for that yet. It's like I said, I can keep the seal as long as I keep it under control. But
Yeah.
I'm once, twice a week, depending on if we have any events or anything we have to go to.
I get pretty bad rash, like razor rash on my skin, so I try not to shave often because it just hurts. Do you guys manscape? The listeners want to know.
Absolutely,
Well, you have to.
I have for 20 years,
Yeah, I mean that's
20
the thing.
plus years.
Yeah, that's good.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Well, it's the I
That's
heard
how we're gonna start this episode.
Yeah,
I
that's how we're gonna
shave
start.
my
Honestly-
crotch.
honestly, I was not a fan of it, and somewhere around 19 or 20, we were bullshitting this exact same topic at work or something, and one of my buddies goes, "You know what? I wasn't on board with it either until I was talking to another guy, and he goes, 'Do you want to go down and stick your face in steel wool and floss?'"
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay,
So-
here's a question for you then. Have you ever shaved your legs or your arms?
No, but I have shaved my armpits and my chest.
I have shaved my arms. When I got my tattoo on my right arm, I had to shave the whole thing, and so I was like, well, I got to make it match, so I shaved them both, just because.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would
fair
look
enough.
weird having one without the
Right?
other.
One's
yeah.
all hairy,
Well, then
the other one is,
I
You'll
used
be
to shave my
lopsided.
legs.
You'll just be walking in giant circles, right?
See,
Yeah.
and I'm not that smart, so that's exactly what would happen.
I used to shave my legs for this reason. I was playing with shin splints.
'Cause you have nice legs?
That too.
Obviously.
You got to show them off, buddy. You got to.
You do. When you have a gift like this,
You-
it has to
you-
show it to the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I had shin splints and a tear in my meniscus, so I needed to K-tape them to be able to help with playing soccer.
Yeah, K-tape and
not-
hair don't get along.
Exactly, right? So I had to shave the hair a big portion from like the mid of like just above the quad down to like halfway down to the shin.
Nice.
So then you're not going to just shave that part, so you got to shave the whole leg, and then
Yes.
you're not going to leave one leg unshaven. So
No.
for
again,
like,
you'll
a
be
period of
going-
a couple
it'll be
months I was
circles.
shaving my
Yeah.
legs, yeah.
And when you're playing soccer in circles, that's not gonna.
Dude, I was going through so much K-tape.
Yeah, no kidding. You can
It was
imagine.
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I'm like, I should probably actually go get this treated instead of just playing with it. But what can you do?
Playing with is more fun.
Exactly.
Have some
yeah.
heart, play hurt. Come on, rub some dirt on it, walk it off.
Yeah, real men play hurt. No, don't do
now-
that, children. Don't do
They
that.
don't.
So one thing I did do as well is once I got talked into waxing my chest.
Ooh.
Did you
Had I
videotape
kept
Was
it up, it wouldn't have been as bad. But because, as was explained to me by a friend of the girl who talked me into it, surprise, because of the
Shocking.
way
Like you.
hair kind of grows like an onion. So if you let it grow for too long, you get that big ball, and when you rip it out, that's where the pain comes from. That's why if you pluck a nose hair or whatever on a regular basis, it doesn't hurt as much. But it also creates like pimples or fissures.
Oh yes.
So if you do it on the regular, you're not pulling out this onion thing. But my chest looked like I was 13
You
after
look like you were
stressed
in a
out
wrestling
chocolate
match
binge.
with Gunther.
Oh no, dude, it wasn't even that. Like it was the worst. Like my face is bad enough from time to time, especially if I'm sweaty, stressed out, or whatever that causes my skin to get extra oily. But yeah, my chest was a nightmare. Didn't turn out to be as sexy, and she wasn't around long enough for me to continue doing it. So I just went back to I just throw number 2 on it and clean it up because
Yeah,
I don't
there you
like
go.
the sweater look either.
I have not
right.
waxed anything. I'm too scared to get that.
No, I'm
waxing.
not that hairy to be honest. Just my arms and legs, and that's it.
Oh, and
your dad
face
was
was
pretty
pretty
hairy.
quick.
though,
My
wasn't
dad
he?
was a woolly
Yeah.
mammoth, and my
Oh,
arm
yeah.
hair stops at like my elbows. It's crazy.
For
Thank
those
God.
of you that think Mike is joking, he
No,
wasn't.
he-
His
it
dad
was-
was literally
it
a
was,
woolly mammoth.
It was something else to behold. Like he'd have a T-shirt on, there'd be hair just like coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
It was just like lava coming out of a mountain.
I can absolutely back
Yeah,
that
it-
statement up.
Yeah, it was something
If
else,
he ever
man.
needed to cut weight, he could drop 10 pounds just by getting a razor.
Oh,
Oh
easy.
hell yeah!
And honestly,
Easy.
we all thought Mike was headed there, and Mike thought he was headed there himself. But
Yep.
for
Yeah.
some reason, that last metabolism end of puberty thing didn't really hit him that hard. So he takes
No.
after his mom. So
Thank
good
God.
for you.
Thank God.
There you go. Yeah.
Canadian hairless.
That's right.
Okay, so I saw Indiana Jones,
Ooh,
and
do tell.
I know you guys want me to talk about it without spoiling it for you.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
some
let us
things.
know.
I know some things.
The best review that I read of it, because I obviously after watching the movie, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this movie. Like, it was good, but it wasn't great. And the best review that I read was a guy that says, I wasn't really ever bored in the movie, but I also wasn't really that excited in the movie.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and the middle part really drags on. So they could have probably cut 30 minutes out of it. It was a better movie. But it was it was fine. Like there's there's nothing that blew me away about the movie, but it was fine. The CGI part at the beginning was really kind of bizarre. Because they do like a train scene at the big. You know how every Indiana Jones they start off with like a heist, basically.
Yeah, yeah, you got to
So-
have that big Bond
Yeah.
style opening, cold open.
Exactly.
I heard it
right?
goes on forever.
Yeah, the middle part the
No,
beginning
like
part. You
the
mean
beginning with the train?
it does
thing
go on
is
for quite a bit
very
of time.
long.
Yeah, it's like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh my
But
God.
it's obviously in the past, so Harrison Ford is CGI'd to look like he was at Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it's awkward, like, because when he's doing his dialogue and lines and stuff, it just feel like it just feels weird.
Was his voice
Okay.
still like 89-year-old Harrison Ford in like a Blade Runner
It
style
was-
face?
The delivery for like all of his lines in the cold open was very neutral, which made it really weird because you didn't get that Harrison Ford sense of urgency when
Yeah,
he speaks in scenes. Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
know
Like,
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so you don't get that until it cuts to him as an 80-year-old man, and then once that starts, then you're like, okay, here we go. This is the Harrison Ford I'm used to. So it was a bit wooden, I guess, the line delivery. So, but I mean, it was good. To me, it kind of missed that treasure hunt feel
Okay.
that Indiana Jones normally has, when he's like looking for treasure, basically, because it's kind of goes all over the place in the world, basically. It's kind of, you kind of get lost, or I kind of got lost a little bit of like where they were going and what they were doing. So, but I mean, it was fine. I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars, basically. So pretty average, like
Now,
right
obviously,
average.
Spielberg didn't direct this. Do you
No, he
think?
didn't.
No, it was James Mangold.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Spielberg was attached at one point, and then he left. And
Yeah.
do you think he left because the story was kind of meh, or do you think that he realized everybody's too old and this isn't going to be what I thought it was going to be? Getting the
Yeah.
crew together one more time.
I don't know.
I mean, hold on. Now I'm gonna throw out a third story here, or a third possibility here.
Ooh.
It could just be because he was really, really busy with the Academy Award nominator Best Picture he was dealing with too, right?
Yeah.
Like Indy Jones,
that
that had
would've
to
been
be
right
a
around that
year
time.
project.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could have been something like that, but
I
it could
don't know.
also just be that he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. Oh, I'm up to my neck over here. I can't do this.
Because he famously did the Temple of Doom, and he did not like it. Spielberg did not
Yes,
like the story.
also
He thought
true.
he thought it was ridiculous, and he was too busy courting his future wife to really give a shit what was going on.
Yeah,
It's fair enough.
there's some good moments of like it's a different Indiana Jones. Like you can tell in the movie that this is an Indiana Jones that feels like he's a relic of a human, right? And they don't really shy away from that.
Well, for good reason, because if
they
they
can't.
He's
didn't,
80 years old in it,
yeah.
right? So, or Harrison Ford's 80 years old. I don't know how old he's supposed to be in the movie, but probably in his 70s or whatnot, right? Yeah, it was fine. Like I enjoyed it. I wasn't blown away. It wasn't terrible, which was kind of the fear going into it. Like it was
Well,
gonna be
after
worse
the
than
Crystal Skull, it was
because
there was parts of Crystal Skull that were really good, but there was also a lot of it that wasn't. And like the whole opening in the Crystal
the
Skull,
car
with, like,
chase through the jungle was awful.
yeah, like there was the nuclear bomb explosion. He's in a lead fridge. Like really, come on, like I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, they of course
Right.
in the cold open they always do some sort of ridiculous like, oh shit, we got to get out of this scenario thing.
But do you
So
guys
Yeah.
remember in the Last Crusade though, like with the train chase in that one, it was simple. It was actual practical effects. It wasn't like CGI Harrison Ford and CGI bad guy on a CGI train
Yep.
in CGI world. This was like
Yeah.
River Phoenix running on a
Yeah.
slow train, and it was simple.
They were
but the purpose was that it was to establish the character of Harrison Ford and the scar and his fear of snakes.
but no, but what
Right,
I'm
so-
yes, but
So it was a cold open because he was looking for some, like they're looking for that relic that he
well.
stole, and but it's also a super huge character building scene which is missing from all the cold opens, like the
The
two cold
purpose
opens
of that
after.
was to establish the relationship with his dad,
Also the true, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
right? So they shoehorned a bunch of other stuff in there, and yeah, now I loved Last Crusade. Saw that one in the theaters. I went to Riverport after hours. It came out the week after I had left Cineplex as a career. Went and met up with a buddy of mine. We watched it after hours, and all of us wanted to leave, but we couldn't because the film has to pass through and then get reset up for the first show in the morning, or somebody would have gotten yelled at.
you're talking Crystal Skull now, right?
And that's been my big thing with this whole Indiana Jones thing. 'Cause I got burned bad on that one, so I'm just not. That's going to be one of those ones. Maybe $7 when it comes out on demand. I don't.
I'll
think
wait
I'll
till
go to
Disney
theater to
Plus
see this.
in October or whenever.
So I would not pay to go see it in a theater.
Oh, that was my next question. Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would. I wait till it goes to streaming device.
Okay.
There's nothing in it that screams you need to go see this in a theater. It like Maverick, for example, was you have to go see this in a theater just because of the
Oh,
effects.
it wouldn't be the same at home.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, it was really good at home, but I never
Yeah.
saw it in the theater, and I wanted to.
So this it has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and the Crystal Skull is 6.2. So they're ranking this higher than the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think that's pretty fair.
I mean, nobody's going to pull a hamstring leaping over that bar either, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It is a different tone to the movie though. Like it's definitely like feels like it's a closing movie. So but yeah, it's good. The last act is obviously the best part of it, so it's pretty good. Just the way it ends.
Where was your pre-excitement for this? Because I know it was tossed out in the group chat at one point that should we go see this and then do a review show on it, and I was not into it. Where was your excitement level? So let's say let's go back to the old Randy Marsh scale of enjoyment. Where were you 1 to 4 on that?
2.5.
You were 2.5.
Yeah.
But going into it, where were you?
Like a 2.
You're like a 2.
Yeah,
And you
I
came out
wasn't
at a
like
2.5?
super excited to see it, just because I had this foreboding feeling of I don't think this is going to be a great movie.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I've gone into movies really excited about stuff, especially when I've seen a lot of trailers for it back when I would watch a lot of trailers for a living and find out that I'm so excited. Oh, I've seen the best 45, 90 seconds of this.
Well, I went into it
Film,
with
and
a
I'm just
lot of
bummed out now.
hesitation in it. Like I just assumed that it like I didn't know what I came with like no expectations. I'm like I don't know what we're gonna get. I don't know if we're gonna get like a treasure hunt movie or a heist movie or a closer movie or what was going on. And
Okay.
I knew the least about this movie than I had about any of the Indiana Jones. So I had no idea what the treasure even was going into the
Yeah,
movie.
me either. Still don't know. Don't tell me.
Well, I won't.
It was a dial of destiny.
Well, obviously, but
And you turn the dial.
it's an
your
actual
destiny-
dial, though. In
Does
it's-
Darth Vader come in and say it is your destiny?
Is it a rotary
actually-
phone then?
Sundial.
could be.
Okay.
Could be.
Yeah, because I mean, I think we've all done it for something. We've been really excited for something. We've overexcited in our minds, and then it just doesn't deliver. We've gotten sucked into the hype somewhere.
Yep.
We've gotten sucked
Yeah.
into nostalgia somewhere. We've gotten sucked into something about the promotion of it, and then it just a big old fart in church. It doesn't work. So
I think
and that really can affect how you feel about stuff.
I think the problem, not a problem, but one of the issues I had with this is that the item in question that he's looking for, most people probably have never heard of it. It's not like the Ark
Or the Holy
Right.
or
Grail.
the Holy Grail. I mean,
Or
or the
the-
Shankara stones. Like,
Yes.
I mean,
Well-
we don't know what it is, but the Shankara stones are like
Yes.
it's, you know,
Okay.
or even a crystal skull. Like you can visualize it, right? Like, what is a dial of destiny? Like, even when you do see it, you're like, I have no idea what this is or what it's supposed to represent. So they have to explain it through the movie, and like, it's not called the dial of destiny in the movie. There's a different name for it, which I won't spoil for anyone, right?
The rotary telephone.
But I mean, you do kind of, they do talk about it like immediately.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, I have to wait till the end to find out what it is. It's like
Oh,
within
no.
within the first like 5-10 minutes, you find out what they're hunting.
Oh.
So,
Okay. So Mike mentioned something about Disney Plus. So is this under the Disney banner? I have no idea.
Yeah, all the indie movies are under. It's a
Okay.
Disney. It's a Disney
Okay.
joint. Yeah.
well, it says watch
Well,
on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
with
then I'll be able to
subscription,
see it
but
by the
if-
fall. Once the
Yeah.
summer starts to wind down, I should have.
Yeah, watch it
Yeah, on
on,
the
on Disney Plus
Plus.
then. Like, I wouldn't spend money to go see it in a theater. I mean, I did, and if you want to, that's fine too. But honestly,
I'd rather
I
go
think,
see the new Transformers. To be perfectly honest.
Actually,
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
a friend of the show, Sarah, was telling me that was actually really good.
I heard
she
it was
went
also
with,
longer than it needs to be.
with two
All
of her
those
sons.
movies,
Yeah.
they always are.
Can we get back to 2-hour movies? Like, what is this 2.5-hour movie stuff? You don't need it. Unless you're okay. Here, we had this conversation yesterday, and let me ask you guys this: how do you actually feel about movies that are longer than 2 hours? For me, in the conversation, it better be a great fucking movie to be over 2 hours long, or
It needs
you,
some serious
you really
story.
start
If you-
fading away. in
Yeah,
terms
it
of-
needs to keep you hooked and have
Yeah.
a good story to follow. If it's just meandering, then I don't give a fuck.
But I think a lot of movies meander these days.
They do.
They go unnecessarily long, where it's like you could have tightened all that stuff in the middle up and made it under 2 hours, and it would have been
Yes.
a better movie.
Yes.
Like, do you need that long pause in every scene? Do you need problem with Avatar, the Way of Water? They had
you need the water?
literally a 15 to 30-second 3D, look how great the 3D is, opening shot for every scene before they got into what the scene was a point of. I'm like, yeah, you don't need all that extra fluff in the movie. It makes your movie 30 minutes longer than it should be.
And that movie came up recently as we were doing a group movie night. So these 8 of the 12 people that are still laughing at me from my misadventures were discussing it. It was too long for the kids at 3 hours. So we'll wait for later on down the road. Let them, at least get through the summer when it's miserable out and we got nothing, like we don't have a campfire to sit around or whatever. It is excessively long. I watched John Wick 4 last night.
I heard it's
That-
really good.
Isn't
I
it
love the
3.5
John Wick
hours
movies.
long or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours long.
Oh fuck, that's
Um,
too long.
The thing with John
Again,
Wick
2.5
is
hours long. Like,
you
wow.
can shave some of the action off here or there, and I love the action. I think it's the best done action out there. Just I'm a big fan of the John Wick series, but yeah, if you cut 15 or 20 seconds out of each major action sequence, you can shave off a lot of time. It is what it is. There's let's be honest, the plots are not super complex. They're fairly straightforward. You don't have to do
Everything's a
whole lot of-
formula now, right? It's
So
all
the
formulaic.
first John Wick has one of my favorite movie moments ever, and it's when what's his name? What's the guy that was in Game of Thrones? What's the character's name in the son in the first one?
Yeah.
The-
Alfie.
Alfie, yeah. When
Yeah,
when he comes in to gloat about stealing John Wick's car, and then John Leguizamo, I can never pronounce his name, like literally, I think he punches him.
Leguizamo.
or- Yeah.
Leguizamo, yeah.
Does he punch him or does he basically yell at him? Or he hits
Yeah,
him,
he
right?
hits
And
him.
he says, "Get the fuck out." And then his dad calls. He's like, "Why did you strike my son?" He's like,
Yeah.
"He stole John Wick's car and killed his dog." Oh,
It's like-
and just hangs off the phone.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then it's just like
He's like, you don't need to say anymore. And he's like, who's John Wick? He's like, he's who you send to kill the Baba Yaga.
Yeah, we call him the Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
He's not the boogeyman. He's
It's
who you
like-
send to kill the boogeyman.
Go ahead, Mike. You have a
Oh,
thought.
I was just going to get back to that. I want to get back to that the long movie thing. Is back in the day, anything over 2.5 was like an epic. You know, like Braveheart,
Mhm.
Pulp Fiction.
It's not like that anymore. It's like
No.
standard
Well,
movies are 2.5
It's,
hours.
it's standard now.
Yeah.
You want to know why? They were
Because-
cutting to fit on a single video cassette
Yeah, that makes sense on a single VHS.
because I mean, a lot of the time back in the day, the home version, if it got too long, your Titanics, your Bravehearts,
Braveheart was two VHSs. So I think I had it.
yeah,
VHS.
Scarface was 2 VHSs. You got that pause, and if you're not a dick, you have that long pause. You go to the bathroom. You got to wait for the tape to rewind. Right, so they would cut movies so that when they hit the shelves, it might be a long, like you're looking at maybe 220 or so as the longest. But after that, you're headed for 2 video cassettes, and at that point, you might as well just go 3.
Yeah, you might as well just go 3. And all those movies had great stories, and there was just so much to keep you engaged. And now, like Seb said, Indy was 2.5, and it was just like, man, it was like whatever. Old man running in the streets. Like, all right, that's great.
Yeah, a lot of the
Yeah,
Marvel
once
movies
you
are doing
know-
that. You don't need it.
Once you know where you're going in a movie, it's like Tenet was the same thing. It was way too long. You spent like an hour and a half trying to figure out what the hell's going on in the movie. And like you're like watching the movie like this the whole time.
Oh,
I got a 4x8 whiteboard downstairs. I'm gonna have to bring up the next time I try to watch that just to figure out what the fuck was going on.
That was such an unnecessary director flex on like, look how
Well,
complicated I can make a movie.
yeah.
Like
exactly.
you didn't need to make it that complicated. It would have been a better movie if you made it less complicated. I do want to say one thing to you guys though. There was a trailer. I've seen this trailer before, but it was in Indiana Jones for a movie called The Creator. Have you seen this trailer?
It rings a bell.
It looks incredible. Incredible. I feel that this is going to be a Best Picture movie nomination.
Does it have Nicolas Cage in it?
No.
I feel that Renfield and this movie are going to be. It's how do I explain it? Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic thriller.
Oh, I'm in.
And
You've already
it's a
sold me.
war, It's a war between humans and AI. And so the first thing that happens in the trailer, which I'll tell you, and then you can watch the trailer at some point. I'll link it in the comments for people. But basically, AI launches a nuclear warhead onto LA, and that's how like the war starts, basically. But it's not like Skynet type. It's more guerrilla warfare, if you know what I
Okay.
mean.
I'm watching the trailer right now.
It looks incredible. I'm telling you.
Okay.
This movie I think it's out in October.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had chills watching this
Really?
trailer, man.
This looks really cool so far.
Yeah.
What other trailers did they have? Anything that surprised you that you didn't know was coming? I know that's kind of hard to do nowadays.
Jeez, what other trailers were there? There was they did the Haunted Mansion,
Oh,
the Disney one,
nice, okay.
which looked really neat.
yeah.
They did Oppenheimer,
Uh-huh.
which looks
I really
great.
want to see that. That looks really good.
And they did a Michelle Yeoh movie, but I can't. It's a horror movie. I can't remember what it was though.
Ooh,
It's
all
about
right.
seances and spirits,
Oh,
summoning
cool.
spirits. And for whatever reason, I can't remember the name of it, but that looked interesting.
Okay.
But the creator one is that stuck out.
This looks really cool. Like it looks just different, right? It's not your typical, like you say, not a Skynet robots take over the world and kill everybody. This looks way more in depth.
And they play "Dream On" as the song through the whole trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's in this one?
I don't know. Some people?
Nobody really crazy. Hold on, let me look.
Oh my god.
Ralph Inson, Gemma Chan, Allison Janney, John David Washington. So Denzel Washington's
I
son.
figured it out. So,
Okay. Yeah. The director of Rogue One.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're changing the title, or maybe have changed it back. So I was looking it up on IMDb, and it's listed as True Love now.
What?
Okay, so yeah, Yep, same cast.
Wait,
yeah,
then-
okay. I'll be I'll be checking that trailer out after we're done here. So that's I used to love watching trailers, and I still do. I try not to watch too many of them anymore because I get a sense of what's going on with the film, and it's like, okay, either I'm in or I'm out. It's kind of binary for me. It's like it's a 0 or a 1. Either I'm in or I'm out.
Oh,
so,
wow.
and there's just some I don't even need to see a trailer for. Like, they're gonna get my money. I'm gonna go. I
I
don't even need
think
to see the trailer. I
okay,
just need to know it's out.
the best trailer they've ever done for a movie.
Let me wait before I bet I can guess it.
Okay,
Ready?
yes.
Was there a 5 running through space, just going round and round for the Fifth Element? Was it that one?
No.
Uh,
The best trailer that I've ever experienced for a movie that hooked you immediately and said, "Take my money, I'm going to go see this," without giving anything away, was The Matrix.
Oh yeah.
Because the original trailer was a teaser, and there was like the code running down, and
Yep.
then it just had Neo in bullet time dodging bullets on the balcony, and you're like, "I'm
What the
in."
hell? What the hell?
But they
is this?
didn't tell you anything. Like that was it. That was the whole trailer. Just those two things, right? Basically, and just like a bunch of flashy things, right? If a trailer needs to tell a lot of the story, generally it's a red flag that the movie is shit.
Yes.
Because they give you the best parts in the trailer, and you're like, how many times have you seen a trailer and been literally thinking to yourself, I know exactly what this entire movie is about?
Thousands.
Right? It's just like the trailer is supposed to be an appetizer. It's supposed to kind of give you a little bit of a flavor of what the movie's going to be like, but not give you, in my mind, I don't think you should tell any of the story.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I'm at a bit of an advantage there with that particular question because I spent almost a decade watching them all because I
Yeah.
was paid to.
Mhm.
So but yeah, it's thousands and thousands of times, and it has made me kind of jaded on it. As we were discussing the Indiana Jones thing, and I said I have no intention on paying to see this movie. Crystal Skull has just soured me. I'll watch it eventually, but I'm not paying for it. Seb, do you remember what you called me?
A
yellow-bellied chicken?
Yellow-bellied
A curmudgeon.
Oh, curmudgeon, yeah.
A curmudgeon. And you know what? I passed curmudgeon a long time ago. I'm a full-fledged grumpy fuck.
Wear that
and I
like
will
a
own that.
mantle around your...
You're the fucking troll under the bridge, is what you are.
Yeah, get my... Okay, it's hot out. Leave me alone. Like, I'm sensitive about my skin, okay?
Oh, I don't know.
but
No,
it's
so sensitive.
no, it is. I am a grumpy old man,
Right.
and I understand it, and I own it, and it is what it is. Just stay off my lawn. You
That's
know,
right. Fuck off my lawn.
So
But it's
I did watch a movie recently that I've been meaning to watch for the longest time, and I haven't seen it until recently. Have you guys seen The Dirt?
No.
The Motley Crue movie?
No.
The Motley Crue
oh
movie?
yeah. That's the one with Machine Gun Kelly and everybody. Yeah, I saw that a while ago.
It's pretty.
That was really good.
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because it was produced by Motley Crue, right? So it's
Yes.
kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting to me. I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't like phenomenal, but it's like a good insight into like how the band was run and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea Vince Neil actually killed somebody in a
Car crash.
car
Well,
crash.
Yeah, man.
I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about his son.
Daughter,
Was it daughter?
his daughter, yeah,
Okay, yeah, I didn't know anything
who had
about
cancer, stomach cancer,
Yeah.
and died. Yeah, his daughter.
Oh wow. That
Yeah.
sucks.
that. I didn't know anything about that.
That led him to leave the band, really, at some point.
Yeah, it
So-
did. That was
horrible.
the reason Crew was on. Well, I mean, obviously they didn't like break up, which they might be doing now. I don't know.
No, they're going back on tour next year. More stadiums. Bring it
Well,
on.
Vince,
Yeah, did they
Vince
get-
Neil
did they get
left
Mick
for
back?
like
Who?
Mick
Mick
Mars.
Mars.
No, Mick's
Yeah,
out.
that's a big controversy
Mick's
right now,
done.
isn't it?
Yeah, Mick's done.
Yeah.
He's out.
He's also. I didn't realize he was
sick.
substantially older than them.
Yeah, and he's
Oh,
super
yeah.
sick. And he's super sick.
Well, he's 72, and the rest of the band's 62.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
back they started the band, and I think Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx were 17 or 18
Yeah,
or
they're-
19 when
I
they
don't
started
even think
the
they were
band.
out of high school yet. I think
No.
they're kind of dropouts.
Yeah. I had no idea how bad Nikki Sixx drug use actually was until I watched the movie.
They're
The,
fucked, all
the
of them.
sheer amount of heroin that he was doing $1,000 worth of heroin a day.
I read half of his book,
Yeah.
The Heroin Diaries, and I had to put it down because it
Holy
was,
shit, man.
It was ridiculous what he was going through.
And I didn't
then-
know that he was like the quasi leader of the band either. Like he wrote all the music.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy. Everyone else, he was the
the
guy that would,
driver.
he was the driver of the band, and everyone else just showed up and played instruments and drank and partied and stuff like that. So
Well, I mean, and then the dirt starts off at that party with Tommy Lee going, "Hey guys, check this out!" And then the girl does one of my
Yep.
favorite tricks of all time. I love when that happens. Absolutely love it.
there's
Big
water
fan.
involved. I'll just say that
Now-
much.
Speaking,
Sure, there. I haven't seen it, so I'm sure there is.
whatever it is, it's not pee.
So there's another. Sorry, there's a segue to another movie that it's been on my radar to see that I want.
Okay,
to
well,
see
I'm gonna. Can I just
Yeah,
put a
go
pause
ahead,
on
go
you
ahead,
there?
go ahead.
A great companion to the dirt is go and watch Pam and Tommy as well, because it all centers around how they met, their marriage, how the sex tape got out, and the fallout for that. And that's
Or you
on-
could just watch the Pam documentary.
Yep, that too.
You get it all from Pam's
but we
side of
got
things. It's pretty
Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee did a great job. We got
Yep.
Seth Rogen as Randall that let the thing out, and Jason Mantzoukas as a talking penis.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which it sounds terrible, absolutely hysterical, especially if you're a fan of Jason Mantzoukas from The League, the podcast, How Did This Get Made? And as honestly, he's been popping up in things everywhere. I watched a Mark Wahlberg movie this afternoon as I was folding my mountain of laundry with him in it, and with a substantial part. So yeah, highly recommend that. Just Motley Crue yourself to death. Get the dirt in. Get Pam and Tommy. Get the Pam documentary. Really dive deep.
I actually heard the
I would
Pam,
avoid the book, though.
the Pam and the Pam and Tommy Lee documentary
It's
with
just-
Sebastian
it's just
Stan
a-
is really good, actually.
Oh yeah, it is supposed to be.
Yeah. So there's another movie, a black metal movie that I want to see with Rory Culkin, called Lords of Chaos, and it's based on the true story of the band Mayhem. I don't know if you've heard of the band Mayhem.
I
It's
think
a
I've
it's a
seen
black
it.
metal band from Norway, and they were teenagers, but they wanted to make a name for themselves, so they started like burning churches and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And there's an infamous
I mean-
story where I think the guitarist killed one of the band members, stabbing him to death. Like, this is a real thing, right? So they're like the
Whoa.
darkest black metal band, and it's a look into their early beginnings, and it's an actual movie about the band. So it looks, if you have a chance to look at the trailer, Lords of Chaos, it looks really good.
Because didn't like one of the band members go to jail for a long time or something like that?
Yeah, the guy that stabbed.
Yeah, there's a
murderer
murder
guy?
charge in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, black metal, man. Like, geez.
Yeah, they take their shit seriously.
So, Mike,
Yeah.
you've been super busy running around the province with baseball and swimming and stuff for
Swimming,
your kids.
yeah.
Have you squeezed in anything fun? Any movies you want to, or shows or anything
We-
you managed to get done?
I like to watch shit from the 80s. This is
Right.
me and the wife. We'll sit down, and if there's something really terribly cheesy on, we'll just watch it. And one of the channels we watched, Young Guns 1 was on last night.
Nice.
Great. movie.
We watch it, it's always on, so we turn it on periodically. It's just fun. Like it's Emilio and Charlie Sheen and Kiefer, all the boys.
Is that the one where he's in the chest and gets thrown out the window?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's just like,
And by
really,
chest, I mean
what if it
literally
didn't
a treasure
land like
chest.
right? Yeah, what if it didn't land right side up? Then what?
That they probably did that on so many bloopers. No,
Right.
they didn't literally put him in the chest when they threw it out.
Did you guys ever watch when we were kids? You guys ever watch Red Dawn?
Yeah.
Oh
Nah,
God,
yeah.
that's Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it?
No,
Sylvester
No, that's
Stallone.
Patrick
No,
Swayze.
you're
Patrick,
Patrick Swayze.
Oh my God,
Are you
I'm
thinking
just
like
gonna keep
Red-
naming '80s actors until I get one right.
No, you're thinking Red Heat. That was the Arnie one.
Red
with-
Heat,
with James
yes.
Belushi.
Yeah.
But Red Dawn was when World War III happened and the Russians took over Colorado.
God, I don't think I ever saw that
Oh
movie.
my God, Patrick Swayze.
Don't
Steve
watch the
Tomascal.
remake.
Oh no, I don't plan. You can't. There's no way I could. I
I
saw
did.
Oh,
I
I'm
did.
sorry.
I would like my time back, please.
Oh jeez. But we're watching this, and like when you're a kid, you pick up, okay, there's Russians, obviously, but then I'm like, why is there Spanish people in this movie? Like, what am I, what the hell is going on? So we watched the whole thing from beginning to end, and even the wife's like, why is there some guy speaking Spanish? I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was all Russians, but apparently in the plot, the Russians came down. They came up to Alaska. They came down through Canada, took over, and then Cuba came,
Mm-hmm.
and
You have
Yeah,
to say it
Cuba.
right. You have to say it
Nicaragua-
right. You have to say it right.
What?
Cuba.
Cuba. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, those guys that Seb said came up, and then they attacked too. It's like, but then they're
Cubans.
fighting together, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on? And then it just, then you're watching it, and there's like mass executions all over the place, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
watched this when I was like fucking 8 years old, and it was rated
Yep.
PG back in the day, and I'm like, because we wanted to get the kid, well, one of the kids to watch it anyway, the older one, and I'm like, this kid would turn him purple. He would never be the same if you watch this movie. It's all bloodless, but you get the gist of what's going on.
I'm
Oh,
looking
it's
at the
it's
cast
bloodless,
list.
but it is
The cast is
violent.
amazing.
I mean,
Patrick Swayze, Leah
yes.
Thompson, Charlie Sheen, Jennifer Grey. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Steve Thomas Howell.
oh no, they put
Yeah.
baby on top of a grenade and left her there for to be found. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. She got shot, and then there was a spoiler alert. She
Yeah.
dies. near the
Literally
end.
never seen this movie ever.
It is 100% worth your time.
It is.
Sorry for the
It's-
spoiler there.
gonna
But
watch
yeah,
the
no,
remake
it's like
though, right?
these guys
No.
were all smoking hot right then. They were getting jobs left, right, and center.
Patrick Swayze's
Some would work out better than
35,
others.
he's in high school. It's amazing. It's
Oh,
so
it's
good.
on Prime. Nice.
Yeah.
And the remake they actually use, I believe, the Chinese and the Koreans.
Okay, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It makes more sense for the day as opposed to having the Russians come and Cuba come attack. Right? You can't. There you go.
Well, if you've ever been to Miami Beach,
No.
I mean, they
Whoa.
just arm them and send them off. And they're all lovely people. I absolutely love Miami, love Miami Beach. Just fantastic human beings. But yeah, there's a lot of Cubans.
I will. Now that you.
Yeah, you have to watch it. It just starts like it's just all the movie opens. It's World War III. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Cool.
it's like 4 or 5 minutes of like small town life, and then all of a sudden
Here come the Russians.
paratroopers.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And they have like one thing they were driving. There's one scene the Russian guys were like driving a Jeep or something with Colorado plates, but it's already painted green with the faded red star on it. It's like, oh, really? Did you really have time to? Just little things, right? And dead people are still breathing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Steve, you had one job. Take the plate off. Sorry.
Right. And it was good. And yeah, the cast. Oh man, Leah Thompson is like a wild animal in that movie. She's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a definite change up from Back to the Future, and it's
Yeah, because this would pre Back to the Future, and because it was like 80. I think it was 84.
yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And then Swayze, I don't think they had done Dirty Dancing yet either.
That was like 80. I think 88.
So it's like, oh, the guy from Dirty Dancing's trying to be an action star. No. No. The guy from Red Dawn did a dancing movie.
Yes.
And then he went and ripped a dude's throat out in Roadhouse right after that. So
he was awesome in Dirty Dancing, I will say. Both
Well,
of
I mean,
Jennifer Grey and they were amazing together because they had the chemistry from Red Dawn.
it's true.
Right?
I can't argue with that.
The scene with the grenade, we won't go into details, but that's some heart-wrenching stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Zeb, you got to watch it.
Red Dawn. I'll
Red
put it
Dawn,
on my
maybe,
list.
and not the remake. Maybe I will watch the remake just to waste 2 hours of my life. Is it more than 2 hours?
Oh, good Lord, probably.
way.
I hope not.
Probably.
I'm gonna say don't do that, but here's your penny, and there's the light socket if you feel like it's
Let's get it over with already. Is what you're trying to say?
hey, it's your 2 hours, bro. You're not wasting my time.
Well, I could do that or just watch some bullshit on YouTube for 2 hours. What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
fair enough. I've watched some garbage. I mean, I just watched what else? I watched 1.5. I watched John Wick last night, and then I watched Dungeons and Dragons. That was
And?
better than I would have given it credit for.
I told you, it's
And I
really
know
good.
Seb's a big fan. I came in with low expectations. I came out not
But even
upset.
if you don't even know Dungeons and Dragons, like it's still a really good movie.
Oh, it's a decent film.
Yeah.
It's decent. It's
It's on my list to watch. I want to watch it.
yeah. I'm gonna say before you do Red Dawn's remake, do
the
Dungeons and
original?
Dragons. I don't know if you have Shaw, but with the Rogers thing, maybe I don't know how it
do have
works
Shaw.
these
Yeah,
days.
I
But
do have
it was free on my Shaw. I think I got it through.
I was
I
looking
think
at
it's
the
on
on-demand
Netflix
stuff.
now. Dungeons and Dragons. I
Okay.
Yes, that's where it was because
Okay.
Yeah.
Where it is.
Shaw search Netflix. Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it
that's
switches
exactly
all
where I
the
had it.
stuff for you and tell you what's free.
So you mentioned Miami. Do you
Mhm.
know that Lionel Messi signed with Inter Miami, and which is the greatest soccer player of all time? Do you have any idea what his contract details are? Do either of you have any
He
idea what
gets
his?
a portion of the streaming rights, the streaming profits from Apple
Okay,
TV Plus.
so he's making between 50 and 60. I think the actual number is 53 million a year
Yeah.
in his salary. He has a percentage stake in both Apple for any new subscriptions after he signs, because MLS is broadcast through Apple TV,
Yeah.
as well as Adidas for any shirts that are sold.
Holy shit.
Plus, he has an ownership stake for when he retires to run his own MLS club.
So he's not
The
worried about where his next
sheer
bag of groceries is
potential of-
coming from.
Well, the sheer potential of how much he can make from. He has 2 endorsement deals from 2 of the biggest companies on the planet. One's a sports company, one's Apple TV. Plus ownership of a team, which is, the value of what he's going to bring to the MLS is unparamount.
sure.
And every team in the MLS chips in for his salary.
I'd like to know how that works, but I mean,
Because of the draw that he's
say
going to
Miami
make,
is
right?
not a small market team either.
Well, the MLS
Right.
is small.
They're actually the
market
worst
soccer.
team in the MLS right now.
Well, I mean that good, bad, or indifferent. There was, that's stolen straight from Ted Lasso. If you check out the last season, but Miami in itself is not a small market town in the U.S. It's got to be top 5. It's got to be in there with, it might not be New York or L.A., but it's got to be in there with Chicago and Atlanta and Houston and Dallas. So it's in that, upper realm, and it's.
He's also
Wow.
Argentinian
Wow.
from South America, and Miami is a huge Latin culture there.
Well, I
so
believe I just mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, I do Miami. Well, I think we're down to once a year now. I'll be back there in January. So I mean,
see
that
a
might
game
be
when you're there.
It might be a thing to do. We are constantly looking for new things to check out when we're down there. We've checked out the Florida Keys. We go to South Beach every year, but we spent 3 days there the first time. We've been to the zoo. We've been to a few other attractions. Great little chocolate shop in the Wynwood district, which is it's a street art district where they've graffiti arted every building for blocks.
Cool.
Absolutely love Miami. Since I'm not going to post this live tonight, happy Independence Day to our southern friends.
America.
I mean,
America.
I've made a lot of friends down in the States on these trips. I mean, from Arkansas to DC, Philly, Jersey, LA, Washington State, Chicago, Oklahoma. So to all those awesome Americans that are out there, happy Independence Day. Keep up the good work, and you may have room for improvement, but
Don't we
I
all?
ain't seen it
Don't we all?
firsthand.
Okay, let me ask you this question, gentlemen. Mike, I
Yeah.
guess you can answer first. Independence Day. Good
The
movie?
movie?
Bad movie.
It's stupid.
What about the second one? Have you seen the second
Even
one?
more stupid. No, what I didn't. Okay. I liked it. I
liked it, but
the premise was great until fucking Randy Quaid rolled his crop duster up and blew everything up. It's like, dude, seriously?
What, you didn't like Will Smith punching out an alien?
Oh, that was awesome. Especially back in the day, Will Smith was the man, but not really anymore. But
Little known fact: Chris Rock was playing that alien.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
No, not really.
ouch.
It could have been. It could have been like a cameo thing. And it was dressed up.
It's nothing like topical humor. It happened in the last 18
Having
months,
Bill Pullman as the president, amazing. Because who doesn't love Captain Lone Star as the president?
right?
And
Lone
Brent
Star.
Spiner is like the crazy doctor guy.
Brent Spiner was a brilliant little addition to that.
He was. He really
was.
was.
Absolutely fantastic. Because especially, I mean, Star Trek had kind of ended a few years. Star Trek ended in 95 or 94.
It's 94, I think. Because I think Generations came out in like 95.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that, but
I mean, he was
I don't
really
like Star-
looking
I-
to branch
I've never
out,
watched
and it was a
Star Trek.
good thing for him to do. I'm I don't think it really hit for them because
No.
I mean, like a lot of the cast, nothing really after hit, but at the same time,
There
they
is
made a bunch of money doing it, so they're
There
probably
is
not
The
that.
cast list for that movie is
there
crazy.
is talk that they're going to make a final Star Trek TNG movie
Oh, let's go.
based
I
off the
thought that was what they
popularity
did
of
with
Picard. I haven't seen Picard season 3, so I
No spoilers.
Okay, we'll save that. I mean, Picard might be a show unto itself.
watched season 1 and it was a fucking train wreck and it was awful. So
Picard?
yeah, it was really bad.
Oh,
was-
you're gonna have a bad time then.
No.
Well, I've heard season 3 is much better. Season 2, I'd watch like recap. These guys, these nerdy guys I watch on YouTube. They recapped it for me, and they're like, "If you like Star Trek, don't fucking watch the show because it's awful." So I didn't, and then they like season 3 to a point. Like it felt more Star Trek-y. Like what
Well,
Picard
that-
was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, at this point, you probably know enough to know that most of the cast pops up in season 3.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's why a lot of people think season 3 is the best one because
It's
there's
nostalgic.
a fuck yeah moment like every other episode.
Yeah.
when
Like a
somebody showed
Yoda
up.
with the lightsaber moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
absolutely.
when I remember it it must have been season 1. Did I even watch season 2? I don't think I did. It must have been season 1. They sprinkled in like what's his name? Fucking Riker and
Mhm.
Troy, and which I thought was the best part of the whole season was having Picard and whoever he was with at Riker's house, just having dinner and talking. I'm like, can we have like 5 episodes of this? Because that's what you need. You just need them to talk. It's just the magic was there, and then they leave, and it's just like, nah, fucking
Mhm.
woke AI and woke fucking robots. Like, oh, fuck off. Like
Woke everything. Just
basically that's what Star Trek turned into. Same with Discovery, and I haven't watched Strange New Worlds, and I can't.
There's
I
so
can't.
many Star Treks out there.
I
It's
can't
just
do it. I
overwhelming.
just I can't
have
do
you
it.
seen Below Decks at all?
I've heard it's really good.
That's animated, right?
It's entertaining.
Animated,
Yeah.
yeah. I've heard it's really entertaining.
Yeah, it's got some stuff to it. It's worth the watch. I think I've watched a season in a bit. It's not
Okay.
something that I've run back to a lot, but every once in a while I go, oh yeah, Below Decks, and I'll
Oh.
toss that on, pick it up from where I left off because it's just sort of fucking with the whole thing,
Uh-oh.
right?
Is that gonna make me mad?
Yes.
Probably.
I did
Okay.
watch Attack of the Clones.
Whatever. It sucks. It's bad, isn't it?
The fucking dialogue is the most atrocious thing ever. I'm like,
That's-
how
that's-
could the actors keep a straight face saying this dialogue?
Because they couldn't. They probably.
I'm watching
did
the movie
50
like
fucking
this,
takes in
like-
every scene.
What's that? My
What?
favorite line is,
And the
I
children.
thought I told you. I thought
killed
I
them
told you to stay away. It's like, well, we sent the message and we came to rescue you. How's that working out for you? And they're
It's just
chained up to the
Yeah.
thing with the worst monsters available about to come out, and then they're
Uh-huh.
about to waste another freaking cool ass character.
Yeah.
It's just. I did it. I got through it. It's something.
It's
Oh.
something else, but it's funny. It's like I can't watch 2. Like I know my daughter, she's turning 12. She still says 2's her favorite, which I don't understand.
There's no believable way that those two fall in love.
Oh,
Like
God,
there's
no.
nothing. There's nothing there for
Yeah.
them to fall in love. There's not.
No.
Like it's so stupid. Like it's just.
Yeah.
There's just give me something. Give me a reason why they would.
Like
fall
maybe
in
they
love.
had like a weekend fling. Okay, that's more believable than them getting married and doing the
Well,
whole spiel,
yeah.
right?
You know what? Maybe that weekend fling was because he's packing more than a lightsaber, and sometimes that's all you need.
Right. The force is strong with this one.
I mean, I feel that your daughter and Seb are going to have their first major falling out over this.
No, I will
I might.
never bring. I will never.
I'm
bring it
gonna
up with
fucking.
her.
I'm outing you, man. It's over. Sorry.
She'll come to see.
She'll take the
reason
bus.
soon
She'll
enough.
make me drive her down, and she will kill you.
She'll see reason soon enough.
He does like episode 3 too, so
Burn
whatever.
him.
I like the
down.
prequels. I don't like 2 so much, but I like 1 and 3. Whatever. They got these. I don't know, redeeming
I mean, the
qualities.
story idea for 2 makes sense and it's good, but just
Yes.
how it's executed
Oh,
is just so
the execution
laughably
is
bad.
terrible. So you have to
Yeah.
you got to get yourself
And it's
around
all dialogue.
that
It's like,
and just
yeah.
think of like the whole story as a whole, like all 6 movies together.
I
And
mean,
you're like, okay,
Lucas
this
has
is
said
where
that.
it's going.
Yeah.
This is where
Lucas
it's
has
going.
said that repeatedly, that you have to look at it as a whole, not one
You do.
movie.
You have to. You can't look at it as
Yeah.
going, is this really? No, this movie's a giant piece of shit.
Yeah, I think if you look at those
It is.
prequels, the dumpster fire that is the prequels. If you break those down into bullet points, it's all there.
Yes.
It's the words they used to fill it in and the way they did it took every good point they were trying to make, every cool moment they were looking for, every alluded to moment that we've been wanting to see for 16 years, and just fucked it right up.
So here's the main problem with the love story between the two of them. There's no like building of attraction between them. There's no like flirtation. There's no like courting. Basically, in a nutshell.
Hold on. The first word Anakin says, "Are you an angel?"
Yeah. So basically, right out of the gate, Anakin's
I
like,
know where pickup lines work.
All right.
right out of the gate, Anakin's like, "I love you, marry me."
Yeah.
Like that's
She's like,
literally what it is. She's
okay.
like, that's fucking 12. That's 12 stage creeper right there.
Hold on, let me
killed
throw this
19
the other
people.
way.
Is that okay
'cause
with you?
Padme probably does not have the most active dating life in her
No.
position either. So it's like, oh my God, somebody sees me for not political power. This is fantastic.
Or did
And
Anakin
he's
use the
grown
Force?
up.
Or
Like
did
a
Anakin,
bantha.
or did Anakin use the Force and just seduce her that way?
Ooh.
Just
Good call.
That would have been way
Right.
better.
Yeah.
That would have been so much
that'd
better.
be cool, right?
Right? Just to like, I will make her. That would have been such a better story if he loved her and she just kept rejecting him. Like, no,
Yeah.
we're not meant to be. And then he manipulated the Force into
Yes.
having her. That would have been so much better as a story idea. And then that
a little
could
rapey,
start.
but I understand. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, that goes back
Well,
to the
it's 'cause I don't
conversation
think
Star
she
Wars is
died.
meant for kids,
She,
though,
and
right?
she
Not-
didn't die of the broken heart. Palpatine killed her. Took her life force and put it back into Anakin to keep him
I've read
alive.
that one too,
Yeah,
and I'm
I
willing
believe
to
it.
run
I
with that.
believe it.
I'm willing to
I'm on
run
board.
with that one. Yeah. So
Yeah. All right.
so
Prequels, baby, love them.
let me ask you boys a question.
16. That's the answer. But only since last Tuesday.
I don't have that
Is
much
that-
time.
What?
No, so what's come up is I mentioned that I do go to Miami basically every year at this point.
We're going
What we're
to
kicking
Miami.
around recently is we want to leave a few days early and do another city. Last year we did LA on the way in, and we're looking at, well, do we go up to Orlando? Do we
Yes.
go into Nashville? Do
Go to
we
Disney World,
The
man.
problem with Orlando is you go to Disney World, you're out another $3
Yep.
Ah.
So we're looking at Nashville. We were looking at a couple other places, maybe Atlanta or San Antonio,
Go
maybe
to
back
New
to
Orleans.
LA and see some stuff because we really didn't get to see a lot of stuff. So is there any cities in the southern U.S. or the U.S. at all that you guys have on your bucket list? I mean,
New
personally, I'd
Orleans.
like to hit New Orleans.
New Orleans, Nashville,
Yeah.
Miami are the three that come to mind. Reno, because I've never been to Reno.
I've been to Reno. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like mini
I-
Vegas, isn't it?
It's
like
very old. It's old and run. Well, I haven't been there in 20 whatever years,
Yeah.
but I bowled in a tournament there a long time ago.
Okay.
New York is
You got to
another
keep in
one.
mind
New
we're
York
going
City.
in January too, right? I've been to New York. I'd like to go back to New York for another couple of days due to a postponement of one of the cruises and a bunch of flights being played. A bunch of us went and visited a friend in New Jersey. We did New Jersey stuff, the shore. We did New York City, and we did Philadelphia. I'd like to go back to Philadelphia. There's a possibility I might go next spring because I have friends in Philly that want me to come out for WrestleMania. Just haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. But I mean, we're looking at stuff. New Orleans is kind of on my list, and it's a reasonable hop to leave day before the cruise, right? Like we like
Well,
being
you
in
kind of
Miami.
look like a vampire, so you'd fit right in there.
You
mean,
gotta,
that's fine.
You got to point. You got to get the teeth a little more pointy. But yeah, you'll be all right. You can do it.
I'll call up Jade and see if she's still got those fangs.
There you
Oh,
go.
I remember those. I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good look. So yeah, just throwing it out there. If there's any,
You guys like live music people? If you're live music people, then Nashville's the place, right?
yeah,
Same with
that's-
New
that's
Orleans.
what we're
New
looking
Orleans
at.
is pretty big on live music, and it's
Yeah, man.
probably closer to Miami, isn't it?
We actually I looked at doing a drive from Nashville to Miami just to see, all the little roadside attractions and whatnot, and pass through Atlanta, and then we realized we'd be going through the Georgia mountains and down into the Panhandle in January, and I don't think I want to drive that.
No, it snows in Tennessee. It snows through
Yeah, it
all
does.
those all those mountain passes. So I didn't
Nashville is fairly warm, but I don't think I want to be doing the mountain passes
No.
at that time of year.
not really.
But yeah, we're looking at Orlando, heavily considering Nashville.
Yeah, but
just 'cause
I
it
think
is
Northlands would be a pretty quick flight to Miami. It's just right across. It's just right across. Go over Georgia.
Maryland.
Man, New Orleans.
Now, have either of you been?
Maryland's.
No, Seb, you said you want to go. Mike, have you been down there yet?
New Orleans? No.
No. Okay.
I've only been to where have I been? New York State, Hawaii. I've been to Orlando. That was amazing.
You've been to Vegas, haven't you?
Got married there.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure you remembered that.
Yeah, been there a
Have
few
you
times.
been?
You're welcome, Sherry.
Okay, Vegas. Matt, have you been to Vegas?
I have not.
Oh my God.
Our travel companion, Sarah, is a big proponent of getting to Vegas. So we do have some people from up in Canada that do hit Vegas first and go over. So that's also in the conversation, but Nashville is just very appealing because of the music, and so is New Orleans.
Vegas is great because it's really an in and out city. Like you just go there for like 2 nights and you're good. Like you don't really need to be there any longer.
4 days, 3 nights. Good.
I will say this though, Vegas gets less exciting every time I go.
Okay.
So like the first couple of times I went, it was amazing. Like I loved Vegas. So
Because everything makes your eyes go like
it's
this.
so over the top. Everything is so over the top. But like when you consistently go to Vegas, I just like it less and less every time I go. It's also super expensive these days. It's not.
Yes.
You can't do Vegas cheap anymore. Like it's very.
Well, that was the
not-
appeal of it years ago, right? It was just a cheap place to
Yes.
go. It was fun. You could just go cut.
It's an
Drink
easy
for free
flight
while you
too
gambled,
because I mean, everybody flies into Vegas. It's hard to find somebody where you need a connection, an airport where you need a connection for it.
Yeah.
You should fly to Bellingham. Probably be cheaper.
It's
Fly Allegiant.
it's not too different from flying out of Abbotsford,
Oh, wow.
but flying out of Bellingham does have the bonus of I don't have to go through customs at the airport.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you guys a couple of would you rather questions.
All
so
right.
We can close the
Fire
show,
away.
I guess.
Let's do it.
Okay. I know I've asked you this in group chat. I don't know if you've read it or not, but would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? And why? And why? I mean, there's pros and cons to both.
Right.
I think for the benefit of everybody around me, 150 years, because I would be just an obnoxious fuck with that power.
But do you know how much money
With
you could
10
make just seeing 10 minutes into the future? You would never lose in a casino.
I mean, that's
True.
also very, very true. But I would still use that for evil. I would not
That's
be
true.
responsible with it, but I would just be a fucking prick.
Well, you could be like Biff and have the almanac from.
Well,
the,
that's
right.
yeah.
You could
But-
just.
Yeah, I can see
On the flip
150 years
side-
into the future.
150 years into the future, you could plan for a big thing. Like you could invent stuff 150 years prior to when it being invented.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
here's
See
another one.
something, reverse engineer it.
Would you, for the rest of your life, would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef? Never clean again or never have to cook again.
Chef.
Oh, I guess that would all depend on if you like cooking or not.
Yeah, but
But imagine the dietary perfection you can get with a personal chef.
well, because you could tell, you could have the perfect diet. I mean, you
Yeah,
never make
gluten-free,
that on your own.
dairy-free. I can't have this, and I want
Yeah.
this amount of protein. Boom, and you
And
never
can
have
you
to
make
worry
it
about
taste
food.
good too, please? Because that would be nice.
Well, it's.
I think I'd take the chef.
Okay, so
Honestly.
I hate cleaning.
Well, I think a lot of people do,
Hey, I'm not a big fan either.
but I do it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a tough one, man. I don't know.
And as my children are all leaving the nest, I find I have to do it more and more because it used to be chore time,
Yep.
and now it's okay. Well, I've done this. Oh, there's still this. Oh, they're all gone. God damn it!
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm gonna throw out a gross one.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
go for it.
Oh no! Put the kids away.
And your mom's.
Oh,
Would you
Jesus.
rather your mom caught you masturbating or you catch your mom?
Oh God.
Oh, good God, man!
Why do you?
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna credit old friend Randy with that one. Brought that up years ago. and
I
it
think
stuck with me.
honestly, I think I'd rather get busted. I think that'd just
I
be
think
easier
so too.
because
I
you
think
never
so,
unsee
too.
the other one. I understand for the other person, they can't unsee that either, but that's not my problem.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Would you rather sip gin with Ryan Reynolds or drink tequila with The Rock?
I'll take Ryan Reynolds all day long.
Oh, it's The Rock
Same.
all day long and twice
No,
on
not The
Sundays.
Rock. Ryan
No.
Reynolds, because he's from Vancouver, and he's.
He's cool.
I think we'd have more in common, Ryan Reynolds and I, than.
I would just sit there and listen to wrestling stories all
You'd
day.
lick the
Yeah, I
sweat
knew
off his
you were going to
armpits.
say The Rock.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going
Yeah.
to say The Rock.
Well, I mean, I listen to a bunch of podcasts, and a good chunk of them are just old wrestling nostalgia stories, and I love it. I love hearing stories about these guys, who's riding with who, why so and so didn't go farther, or what the real story was behind this incident. I
Yeah.
would just sit there and drink tequila until he hurt me and kicked me out. But listening to stories, absolutely.
All right, here's an off the rocker one, and you need to tell me why as well. Would you rather have a third nipple or an extra toe?
Now, is this a sensitive third nipple, or just
Is it just there?
a kuntus hanging out?
Where would that third nipple be? Like, what if it was like on your chin or something?
That'd be
Oh, you
amazing.
didn't? I was just expecting like center of the chest, like
no,
the girl
it's
from
got to be
Total
on your
Recall.
chin. I'd take the nipple all day long.
Take the nipple. That's a great
Well, because
conversational
if you,
topic.
if you took the extra toe, well, how the hell are you going to wear any pair of shoes?
Number one, and your balance would all be fucked
You'd
up
be
too.
fucking. Yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
totally screwed.
Yeah,
I'd go with the nipple. Right
I'd
here,
take the
right there.
nipple.
Yeah.
I would absolutely take the nipple. Yeah.
Would it be active too? Could you like squirt stuff out of it too? That'd be fun.
No,
If you're a
it's
female.
just a little,
Just a little thing you could.
especially in those boring meetings at work. You're just like,
Yeah. Right. No one would ever know what's going on.
yeah.
That's going cross-eyed.
How's your coveralls keep getting torn?
I don't know, man.
Mind
It's
your business.
Yeah, mind your business.
Got anything else there, Zeb?
I'm just looking. If you guys
You got
have
one more?
go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're scrolling the internet. I think I've seen this list before.
Yeah.
There was one I heard on the radio a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember it now for the life of me. It was Deuce. I think it was like, would you rather? Yeah, it was something about an orgasm. You either did one every time you orgasm, or you orgasm every time you did another thing, and they were both just like, "Oh, that's awkward." Can't remember it for the life of me.
I do like the would you rather. This is just weird and makes no bearing on anything whatsoever. But would you rather swim in Nutella or maple syrup?
I think Nutella would feel pretty good, to be perfectly honest.
I like.
I mean,
be
that's
like a-
coming from the. You clean up easier. Like it'll take me ages to get that
Oh,
out
fuck,
of
I'd be-
out of my hair.
What's
hot
less
chocolate.
stickier, maple syrup or Nutella?
I'd probably go maple syrup because somebody's more likely to lick it off.
How
But it-
good is Nutella though?
Not
It's
zero.
actually
What? No
it's pretty
stars.
overrated.
Oh my
I don't really
God.
like it that much either. Actually, to be perfectly honest,
I cannot wait.
It's
I have
so good. What's
No.
wrong with you?
no.
now that we are
Oh.
done with our superfluous child that's here for pre and post school care, which he was a major Nutella consumer. There's only one other kid in the house that eats it, and I'm kicking this fucker out as soon as they turn 18. Like, go, take
God,
your
it's
Nutella
so
and
good.
go.
take your Nutella and fuck off.
You can buy your own damn Nutella. Keep it in your room.
Yeah, it was around a lot when my kids were little, so I kind of you grow tired of it pretty quick. Like it's fine, but it's not something that we have in the house right now. We don't buy it at all anymore.
We do. We have it. I never liked it. From the first time I tried it, I never liked it. And I think Nutella is one of those things where it's most people are either first gear or fifth gear on it. There's no very, very rarely do you find middle ground.
I will say it is tasty on a piece of like plain white bread that's not toasted, soft bread.
Dude,
And then
have
just
you ever
spread
had
that on.
Nutella like on croissants? Oh my god, they're so
Yeah.
good. So good. I did see a really hilarious meme. What if Bob Ross and Gordon Ramsay switched places?
Oh,
So it was Gordon
Gordo's
Ramsay.
paintings
It's
would
a
be so
fucking happy
angry.
tree I'm drawing.
That tree doesn't look happy.
Happier, draw the tree happier. Oh, that was so good.
I love Bob Ross. I watch Bob Ross all the time.
He's either super high or a serial killer,
No, he's
No,
he's not. It's neither.
or neither. Yeah.
Actually, have either of you, since we're talking about films earlier and now Bob Ross, have either of you seen the documentary on Bob Ross?
No,
No.
I'm afraid to.
I highly recommend it. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
Isn't it like the joy of painting or some shit like that? Or
yeah, it's
some
yeah. I
fucking
can't remember
like
what it
show.
is for the life of me. They really dig deep into it. Do you know that his family got screwed out of everything
Nah, I'm not
when he
surprised.
passed away?
Really?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So
His
the production
business partners
studio. Oh no.
Contested the will. It definitely sounded like there was some 70s key party long-term swinging thing going on as well, which I mean, good, go nuts. But his business partners basically stole his name rights from his son and family and screwed him over. So under no circumstances buy anything labeled Bob Ross, because it is going to a terrible, terrible set of human beings. And
That
that's
sucks,
sad
man.
because it's Bob Ross.
Bob fucking Ross, man, he's awesome.
He-
Yeah.
It was
And
so
it's-
therapeutic to watch his show.
Well, that's why I watch it,
just
because I just
meditate
sit
to
there
it.
and me and
just
Jolene, we
look at
just
it,
zone
maybe,
out and watch
yeah.
it. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, and it's a great documentary. I will figure out which one it is. I believe it's on Prime. That's where I watch most of my documentaries, and it is. He's a wonderful
Okay.
human being.
Why don't watch
He
it
did
funny?
have he had his own adult life. He went through some stuff, and in the end, I guess we've all seen it, the four pillars of wholesomeness, right? It's like
Yeah.
Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers and Steve Irwin. I can't remember the last one, and he got screwed.
Hmm.
His heirs got screwed.
That
His
sucks.
name is gone. There are some evil
Tragic.
people making money off of this very nice man, and he did not want them to.
Hmm.
So
You guys ever seen the Deadpool Bob Ross?
yes, there is a
Yeah,
there
sounds
is
familiar.
Do you want to?
yes,
this
I will
up.
add that right now. There is actually in the Canadian Brew House at High Street in Abbotsford. There is a photo at the top of the stairs as you're coming out of the patio of that.
Do I have to play it? Probably.
Wet on wet
How the
teaser.
fuck is
Yeah,
this?
you have to play it.
Hold on. Oh god, how do I do this? Hang on.
Just hit play.
Yeah, thanks.
There's a play button. Just hit it.
Oh, volume.
Hello there. Welcome back. I'm glad you could join me today. Let's just dive
Well,
right in.
guess
with
whatever.
all
I love this
colors
video,
of
man.
streaming You'll need to paint along with me. I have my regular old canvas here, wet, ready to go. Now, let's grab our trusty 2-inch brush here. Whack that off real good. Just beat
Names
it like
of
it owes you
the
money.
paint are
We're gonna get a
hilarious.
little dab of our yellow snow here. We're gonna mix that with just another little dab of our Betty White. Now,
Oh
let's
my
just
God.
dance in a happy
You
little
ever seen
sky.
this up?
And remember,
I don't
this
think
is your
so.
world. You get to make and break the rules here.
Yeah,
Just
so
like
the
Sweet
painting or
baby
the
Jesus.
print at the top of the stairs
Push
of
up and
Canadian Brew House is
jump in
that
there,
shot there
roll
with
around
him
and all that
sort of turned
cascading
around in
white
the photo.
powder. Yeah, just
the,
get high in
painting.
all of life's splendor. God, I love cocaine so much. Holy fuck knuckles, I am high as a kite right now. Okay, let's paint in a few little happy trees there.
I'd rather have a
Nothing
beer
wrong
with this guy than
making friends
Ryan
with
Reynolds. To be
trees.
perfectly honest,
Do what
This
you don't
would be
want to
hilarious.
do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this would be a
Jeez,
fucking
Louise.
trip.
Trust me on this one.
There's a perfect
I'm gonna
casting
whack
choice
off
for,
again.
Oh,
for
Deadpool.
character.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah,
That feels
absolutely.
good.
Like you can't see anyone else as Deadpool.
No,
Well, no, I mean he played it in the Wolverine Origins, and it was perfect. And it
oh, Jesus
took
Christ.
so long to get the rest of it made,
Yeah.
right? And even then, they didn't have a lot of faith in it, so they dumped it off in February, and it made them $500 million real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like, they absolutely
When
had
is the
no
third
faith in
one
him.
supposed to be out, by the way?
I think they just started filming it, or they just wrapped. One of the two. I can't remember what I saw.
2024,
I hope it's
so-
funny. I hope he's not like too like rich to not be funny anymore.
No,
No,
it
it's
seems to be
gonna
doing
be
okay
great.
with the funny from what I've
Okay.
seen going around.
I hope so.
Expected May 2024.
Beauty.
So
That's
a
when
year.
it's expected.
Anyway, so friend of the show and local upcoming comedian Spencer, who does miss telling some jokes. We're gonna have to get some film on him.
Yes.
Saw this Bob Ross Deadpool painting. He goes, "Mom, is that guy real?" Which led to a question of, well,
Well, kind of. But
yeah, yes with an if, no with a but. Yeah, so that led to a whole thing, but just he was so enamored by this image of the Deadpool costume with the Ryan Reynolds wig and the painting. He's just like, "Is that real?" Like, wow. Would you rather know how babies are made instead? Because that's probably a little easier
Let's
to
have
explain.
that conversation. You'll
Yeah,
figure
right.
that out.
Oh well,
Yeah,
that honestly it would be easier to explain to that particular kid.
probably.
Yeah. Anywho, guys, we're it's good catching up with you.
Yes.
it's past your
Right.
bedtime, Matt. You gotta go to bed.
It is. I do.
Yeah,
I
Matt's got to
I
get up
gotta
at
get up
4
and
a.m.
yeah.
I'll be up shortly after that, but whatever.
Yeah.
No,
Yay,
yeah,
we
shortly
gonna
after
get
that.
up and do some
Nothing.
work and
Right.
stuff in the heat. So, but you know what? Honestly, the mornings aren't bad. It really doesn't. The heat's not that bad till after I leave. So, I have that going for me, and then I come home to air conditioning, which is
Nice.
awesome. Thanks, boys. It's been good catching up. We will post
Always.
the trailer Seb sent us at some point in the near
Watch
future.
it.
I got to get.
It
this.
looks really, really cool. I got to
Yeah.
say, I watched it, and
That's a definite in theater
Okay, well,
movie for
if
me.
you're listening to this,
Absolutely.
you can probably go to our Facebook page because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the download and the repost because we are not doing this live, and this trailer will be on our YouTube page already by the time you get it. So, thanks for listening, and if you
Coolio.
haven't already checked out the YouTube or the Facebook page, that's where it is. So you could just go check that out, gentlemen. We're gonna have to get together again this week. We'll sort that
Yes.
out. We'll get a couple more in the can because we're busy. We're busy. We got
Busy.
all sorts of commitments and stuff going on,
Yeah.
out of town trips and
Summer. Live in summer.
yep,
live in summer.
summertime stuff. We're working lots. And thanks for joining us, everybody, on this recorded edition. And keep an eye out for us. Follow us and like us everywhere possible. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. Facebook will have the most current updates as we get along and we are going to get back to doing these things with a live stream, followed by the dump, rather than just recording as many as we can and spreading them out so that we keep in practice
Absolutely.
and don't
There you
have to
go.
look at each other during the summertime.
About it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good day and how do.
See ya.
Good afternoon.